Be confident, be bold, be authentic, but don't forget to take action. This is Ordinary to Badass, where our stories empower women to step into the spotlight of their own lives and pursue what they're truly passionate about. It's time to step into the arena and become more than just extraordinary. It's time to become a badass with your host, Marie Sonneman.
Welcome to Ordinary to Badass, episode number 124. In the last episode, you heard from Rebecca Kordecki, and she was a total badass, or is a total badass, and she's the owner of the Breath Zone and the creator of the Booty Slide. She was a celebrity trainer and a wellness expert, and she recently transitioned in the past 5 to 6 years to being a breathwork coach. So if you didn't listen to that episode, go back, listen to it again. It was so good. But if you're quick on time or short on time, listen to this episode, see what you think, and then go back and listen to Rebecca's episode. So before we get to the episode, I gotta know, have you went to iTunes yet and left a 5-star rating and review? I would be so grateful if you headed on over and left a rating and review. Guess what? You could get a free pair of I Am a Badass anti-blue light glasses for free this month by July 1st. So it's still not too late. You could still do it today. It would be so awesome. Do it by July 1st. Leave a rating and review on iTunes and then screenshot it and send it to me on Instagram at Ordinary to Badass. And then you'll be entered to win the drawing and have a chance to win I Am a Badass anti-blue light glasses. I would love it if you did that. And people are really loving these glasses, so I think that you'll like them too. All right, let's get to the episode so I can tell you why Rebecca Kordecki is so badass. Wasn't Rebecca great? She is a total badass, and I really appreciated her coming on, sharing her story. And now I want to share 4 reasons why Rebecca Kordecki is so badass. So the first reason why Rebecca is so badass is because she acknowledges her voice, and I'm tongue-tied today. She acknowledges her voice and suggests that you acknowledge yours too. The second reason is because of the wall of badassery. Number 3 is the 3 bitch rule. And then number 4 is because she's a fitness badass and a spiritual badass. All right, let's get into it already. Rebecca acknowledges her voice. When she's upset, she says she acknowledges it. She acknowledges her fear voice, her stress voice, her anxiety voice. And then she says, I feel you. I hear you. I see you. And then, okay, what can I do to calm you down? So I love that she does this. And even more, I love that she, gives this to us so that we can implement tactical steps. So then when you're feeling fear and anxiety, then you can be like, oh, this is something I can use. This is something that I can apply in my daily life. And I don't know about you, but acknowledging these things hasn't always been something that's come easy for me. It's only been in the last maybe 5 years that I've really tried to do work around it. And I am not great because I have spent a long time ignoring the voices or ignoring the stress or the anxiety and just tried to push past it, tough it out. And I thought it was tougher to just power through it, steamroll through things, right? But that's really not that tough. Sometimes it's tough, it's tougher. It's both tough and easier to do the work. So it feels harder because you actually have to feel your feelings, feel your emotions, and sit with them in the moment. That can be hard. But then the reward on the other side is usually better. I can't say that it's always better, but it's usually better. But I think it's just a work in progress, right? But when you're feeling that voice of fear or stress or anxiety or anger even, when you're having emotions well up in you, then acknowledge them. It's like, you know that saying, what you resist persists? And that's so true. It's like, if you're like, I'm not angry, that's not me, I'm good, I'm not, nope, go away, anxiety, go away. It's like, what does that solve? What problem does that solve? Nothing ever. It just like comes stronger at you. Like, yeah, I'm here, you can't ignore me. And yet it can be so hard to just acknowledge it. But I really liked the follow-up question, is, okay, what can I do to calm you down? Sometimes, I believe it was when Sarah Robinson was on the podcast, she said we have to talk to ourselves like we're talking an adult to a kid. And so, like, yeah, ask yourself, like Rebecca was saying, ask yourself, okay, what can I do to calm you down? Or listen to what Sarah had said, and like, pretend like you're an adult talking to your kid self. What can I do to calm you down? How can I help you? Ask yourself these questions. And so I thought that was super badass that Rebecca asks the voices, or she tells them, I feel you, I hear you, I see you. And then she asks, okay, what can I do to calm you down? So listen, it is okay to have these conversations with yourself. It is more than okay to have these conversations with yourself, because you're feeling it for a reason, and it could just go away once you acknowledge it, right? But a lot of like these badass women are having these internal conversations, these internal dialogues. They're paying attention to what their body's telling them, to the emotions that they are feeling, instead of trying to stuff them down and ignore them and make them go away. It's like, and I'm just as guilty as this as the next person, if not worse, but like, why do we think that they're going to go away? Have they gone away before? Have they completely ever disappeared? Probably not. You're always going to have a wide range of emotions. So why do we think that we can just shut them down? All right, let's get on to number 2. The second reason why Rebecca Kordecki is so badass is because of the concept of the wall of badassery. I absolutely love this. So Rebecca lists all of the things that she has done in her life to make her feel like a badass. And then she goes back and reviews that list. She said every day she'll look at that list or create the list. You can do whatever. You can create your own list every single day, or you can keep adding to that list as time goes on. But here's the thing. We tend to focus on our failures instead of focusing on our wins. So it can be easy to be like, okay, I'm not a badass. But then you forget the strong, the powerful, the hard things that you have gone through. So sometimes we just need reminders of those things. So create a list for yourself. Create a list of badassery. Because I know you're listening to this podcast, you're 100% a badass. I know that about you. Even if you don't know it for yourself, you are such a badass. And there are going to be days where everybody feels like, meh, that's not me. Or maybe we're just not ready to admit it yet, but you have it in you. You absolutely have badassery in you. But do something to remind yourself. What have you done that's badass? What have you come or overcome? I don't care if it's like the death of a loved one. That's hard. Not everybody has overcome that, right? So if you were able to move past that, you're still here on this earth. You have overcome that. That is badass. That is a hard thing to get through. If you ran a 5K, right? That's badass. That's cool. Whatever it is that's your thing that you felt proud of accomplishing, then put that on your list. Maybe you went through a divorce and it was freaking hard and you got through it. Cool. Put that on your list. Like, we don't give ourselves credit for all these things that we've overcome, or maybe we just don't reflect on them to see. So make a list. You can put it in a frame, like a picture frame, and somewhere that you're gonna see it all the time. We need these constant reminders. Years ago, I remember hearing about people that reviewed their goals every single day, and I thought, that's insane. Like, I couldn't do that. And there's just no point in that, right? I just didn't quite get it. But part of it is so that your goals are like at the top of your mind. They're like at the forefront of your mind, and you get excited about them when you see them every stinking day and you believe that they are going to happen. And I think the same could be true with your badassery list, right? Like the list of things that you have done that are badass that you have overcome. Okay, if you've done those things, what else can't you overcome? Like that can give you the courage to go forward, to do hard things in the future. So create your list of badassery or your wall of badassery. Frame it, whatever. Like I would love to see that list. Absolutely. All right. The third thing that Rebecca Kordecki, or the third reason why Rebecca Kordecki is so badass is because of the 3 bitch rule. All right. Rebecca said she could get caught and complaining about things and it would bother her, or other people would talk to her and complain over and over and over again. It's like, it can get old when people are so stinking negative. And again, I am not judging. It can be so easy to be negative. I often feel like my default is negative and I have to work hard to be positive, right? But if I'm around negative people, oh man, that can just suck you dry. That is so easy to just let it consume you. So let me get to this 3 bitch rule that Rebecca talked about. She said if you complain about something or if she's doing something 3 times, she knows by the 4th time she has to do something about it or do something different. She said, so that 4th time, she's not going to complain about it again. She's either A, going to make peace with it and stop complaining, or B, she's going to shut the hell up. That's absolutely what she said. And so you have a choice. You can sit there and complain and go and go and go, and we can always find something to complain about, right? It's so easy. And it's so easy to be sucked into that negative energy and consumed by it. But you do have a choice. And so I love this idea that by the 4th time, you either have to make peace with it and stop complaining or shut the hell up. And you know what? Sometimes all you have to do is create a trick for yourself. Like the 3 bitch rule. And I feel like Mel Robbins, she has a book called The 5-Second Rule, which is really popular, right? And she had to create that rule for herself, like the 5-second rule. If I just want to do something, then I have 5 seconds and I absolutely have to do it within that 5 seconds. Like she didn't want to get up in the morning. But then the second she heard her alarm, she'd be like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And her feet better hit the floor by 1. But sometimes it's just those little tricks that we have that can be absolute game changers, right? It can stop you, from Rebecca's example, it can stop you from negativity. For Mel Robbins' example, that could stop you from like not taking action, right? It can help you to take action because you only have 5 seconds to get it done and not even think about it a second time. Just start counting down, right? So come up with your own version of the 3 bitch rule, or for even something else in your life, you can definitely use Rebecca's 3 bitch rule. But guys, sometimes we just make it harder than it is. And you practice and learn from these people, from these amazing guests that come on the podcast. Listen to what they're telling you. I certainly do. I soak it up. And I am honored to be able to talk to people and get different insights. And then I can apply that in my life. And so that's badass. That's freaking cool, right? And they are amazing enough to come share this with you and me so that we can learn from their past. So you can follow Rebecca's 3 bitch rule, or you can come up with your own rule. Try different things and see what works for you. What motivates me isn't going to motivate you, right? So it's about experimenting and trying them out. And sometimes you have to try it more than one time. You're going to have to apply it in your life. Say, try it for a month, right? See if it works for you. All right. The 4th reason why I think Rebecca Kordecki is so badass is because she paved her own way. She absolutely paved her own way. She didn't listen to other people's opinions of what she should do. Otherwise, she was a celebrity trainer, right? A lot of people would not leave the celebrity training world. And even if they didn't enjoy it anymore, they might feel like, oh, well, this is so glamorous. I don't know that I want to leave, or how am I ever going to be this successful again? We let all the voices seep in, or the imposter syndrome, and then it can terrify us from making a change. But Rebecca, said, nope, it's time for me to switch. And she made a switch to breathwork. And that could have been something that a lot of people maybe didn't know about. It might not have been the more popular path, or the most popular path. And so that is a perfect example, right? Your family or friends might not understand what you want to do. They might not understand where you want to go from here, how you want to pivot, how you want to change. They might not see the same vision that you see, but that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with it. It doesn't mean that it's bad. Your goal, your vision for your life, your thing could be on the other side. It could be the thing that nobody can see or understand but you. And so you have to have that confidence, that self-assuredness in yourself that you know what is best for you, right? Listen to your gut, that intuition, that inner voice that's driving you to do the things that you're passionate about. Because nobody else can make a decision for you. Nobody else can tell you what is right for you. And so often we listen, and then in our gut, it feels like we've missed the mark because we listened to what everybody else had to say instead of going with your gut. So I thought that was absolutely badass that Rebecca paved her own way, listened to her inner voice, and then made a change. So now I'm going to ask you, what do you want to do that other people don't support you on or support you with? What is your gut telling you, an area in your life where your gut is saying something needs to change here? I need to make a difference. I need to make a pivot. Something isn't right. How can you explore that? Explore that voice. If you know what it is, if you know what it's telling you, you can take a giant leap that way, or you can take small steps and figure it out as you go, right? But just listen to that inner voice, and then take little steps along the way to get you to where you need to go. So let me do a quick recap. 4 reasons why Rebecca Kordecki is so badass. 1, she acknowledged her voice. 2, the wall of badassery. Reminder, you need to do this. I do as well. 3, the 3 bitch rule. 4 is she paved her own way. She did things her way. So if you love this episode as much as I did, or Rebecca's episode as much as I did, then definitely I would be honored if you left a 5-star rating and review on Instagram. But more than that, 5-star rating and review on iTunes, but more than that, head on over to Instagram. Let Rebecca know how badass she is. That's the thing. People don't often get feedback on how they impacted you. And I know I say this all the time, right? But it is so important. How good do you feel when you get a compliment on something that you've done? Or if somebody tells you something you did inspired them or impacted them? That's the same for Rebecca, right? Or any other guest that we have on the show. It's we need to share some love and say, hey, you taught me this. From listening to your episode, I started breathwork. That would be cool, right? Or I practiced the 3 bitch rule and it taught me that I complain a lot. Or it taught me 3 times and I can be done. Whatever your thing is. But definitely reach out. Make sure to tell her what a badass she is, or what kind of an impact she had on you, and tag us in your stories. And I am at Ordinary to Badass, and she is at Rebecca Kordecki. And I will throw those Instagram handles in the show notes so that you can definitely reach out. And with that, we'll end our show. To all the badass women out there staying in the arena, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, own it and get after it.
Now that you've listened to this episode of Ordinary to Badass, we want to hear from you. Go to our website, ordinarytobadass.com/podcast, and submit your own experience on how you took your life from ordinary to badass and get the chance to be on a future Spotlight episode of the show. That's ordinarytobadass.com/podcast. While you're waiting for the next episode of the show, wipe off the sweat, dust off the dirt, and get back in the arena.